Welcome to the Knowledge for Men show. Your life will never be the same.
Your level of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development.
I want to die empty of regret. I want to die empty of my best work. We don't understand who we are. Instead, we're living out somebody else's narrative.
What one man can do, another man can do. If it's been done, it can be done again.
Being yourself and being your truest, most authentic self in every moment. If it scares you or makes you a little afraid, do it. Follow your heart and your gut.
The first stage, I think, is finding you, like finding out who I am today.
Stuff will not work. You will have things that fail. Success is when you're a happy, fulfilled person. How do you define success?
It's your life, and you are the creator of the movie script that is your life story.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. I'm here with Alistair Overeem. He's a mixed martial artist and kickboxer, signed with the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He's a former Strikeforce heavyweight champion, Dream heavyweight champion, and K1 Grand Prix champion, and is one of only two fighters to hold world titles in both MMA and K1 kickboxing at the same time. So excited to have Alistair here on the show. How are you doing today?
Well, thanks for having me, first off.
All right.
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah, my next fight is announced March 14 against Ray Nelson, UFC in Dallas. So basically, I'm back in the training camp, training, eating, sleeping, and all is good. I'm healthy. Looking forward to the fight.
All right. Before we jumpstart into kind of your story of how you got started, with fighting and your story of where you come from, I always like to kickstart off every show, every episode with kind of like a favorite success quote or a saying that they've lived by that has helped them on their journey. So what do you got for us? And then if you can explain why you chose that.
What do I got for you? Well, the one that really resonates with me, I think, is stay positive, be positive.
Is that something that you're thinking about right now? You're in a training camp, so is that just something that's on your mind, all the work?
Well, in life you go through adversity, and, I have a very positive mindset by myself, and I think every athlete has that. I think you need to have that. But I just noticed that people who don't have that positive mindset, they go through life a little bit more hard than I do. I just always see the bright side of life. Always. Even though when I'm down, when it's like really bad situation, I kind of see the bright side I try to see it. Sometimes it's even hard for me, but I'm just wired that way. And if there's anything, any advice I could give to anyone, just be positive.
Very simple. And yeah, that kind of gives us a little bit about you, but let's take a few steps back and kind of just dive a little bit deeper into how you got started with fighting and kind of just like your story and your journey to where you are right now. So,
okay, well, born in England, parents, my mother is Dutch, my dad is Jamaican, and at age of 5, they got divorced. We were living in England, me, my brother, my mother, and my dad. And my brother took us back to Holland, and there I was raised. And basically 13, 14, 15, you hit puberty. You're messing around a little bit more in the streets, and you're starting to go out. And in Holland, you're allowed it's legal to start drinking. So you're kind of more exposed to the world. And for me, I never really was doing any bad stuff, but I definitely, had a lot of energy. I was getting into some street fights and had a little attitude. I was a little rebel. So basically, my brother, who was exactly the same, also a rebel, just a little older, he took me to the gym to learn how to defend myself, and second, for more discipline. And I was like 14 years old. I didn't really like it because, it was unknown, and you got tired, and all these strong big guys that didn't have any technique, and it's kind of not nice if you're doing something and you're not good at it. But I kept at it, and the coaches kept encouraging me, and within a couple of years, I was kind of okay. And people, I think, obviously noticed some talent. Then on the same time, my brother was fighting in Japan for the Rings organization, which was kind of like the first big international MMA organization before Pride even. And that was my goal. I wanted to do that. So initially it started out as I had to train by my brother. Later it started, the second phase was I actually enjoyed it, I liked it. And I had a goal to fight in the land of the rising sun, Japan, like my brother.
All right. And how did that first fight kind of turn out? And then from there, like you continued training. How did you make it up to run through some of the larger organizations?
Okay, so I started fighting kickboxing. I was training MMA, so wrestling, basically grappling and kickboxing. I started fighting when I was 17, and we scheduled kickboxing fights in preparation of my MMA career. Now I done like 10 or so consecutive, and how was it to step in the ring the first time? It was very good. I was very relaxed. I executed the game plan perfectly. It went really well.
And so from the kickboxing, like you continued fighting and then started moving up the organization through there and started going into Dream and these larger organizations.
Well, kickboxing was small. It was local shows in Holland, and I did one international one in Spain, but it was very small, couple thousand attendance max. And then from there I went to Rings Japan, where my brother was already fighting. I debuted there at 19 years old, all the way back into 1999. And after Rings, I went into Pride at age of 22. And then later, when Pride went down, 2006, I went briefly to K1 Heroes. At the same time, I fought in Strikeforce 2006. Started fighting there. And then became champion 2007. 2008, I went to Dream. And then became champion there 2010. K1, I started there in 2008. My career has been long. It's been 20 years of fighting in actually every organization out there. So even I have to think about what was when again.
One thing that I love hearing about is like any athlete, any artist, like, you know, what's going through your mind during the fight and when actually you're kind of in a lot of pain and you might lose. Like, what's going on in your mind at that time?
Well, some people have a high threshold, a high pain threshold, so they don't feel that much pain in the first place. And other people are just tough. They just suck it up. They don't, and yeah, they don't care.
You just mentioned you have like a long 20-year fight history here. Why do you fight?
Because I like to do it. And if I look back at it, I've always been fighting. When I was a young kid, I was impersonating Hulk Hogan, doing the wrestling moves. I'm just a very physical person and love to be active.
Yeah. What keeps you going? 20 years is a long time. You got an upcoming fight now. You're still going strong. You know, what keeps you going?
Well, I'm still improving every day, and I'm still hungry to improve. I'm still hungry to get better. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people I work with. And, that all empowers each other. It all empowers each other. People around me want me to continue. I'm still hungry for more. My body is still healthy. So for me, I'm not done yet. I'm 34 years old. If you look at Anderson Silva, he's like 38, 39. If you look at Dan Henderson is kind of about 43. But I can definitely continue to fight till 39. Definitely.
Wow. And just kind of like looking back at your career, like what lessons have you learned from fighting that apply into life?
I would say keep going. Always keep going. And always keep developing. That's a better one. Because like in life, you grow as a person, you develop. The same is with the fight game. Even now, after 20 years of training, I'm still developing and I'm still getting better.
Yeah. You've obviously been through a ton of training camps. How does your environment in your training camp, like how does that affect your training, your environment?
That's the beginning and the ending. Your environment is so important for you. I also refer to it as your foundation, the people you have around you that make it possible for you to excel in what you do. And if that foundation is not good, and let it be, fighting, let it be football, let it be tennis, but even let it be your own work. If you have the wrong people around you, your 9 to 5 job, you're not going to perform as good. So you need to have that solid base and surround yourself with good people, positive people that have that positive effect to you, because that can also differ. That can also be different for everybody. But I'm very satisfied with the people I have around me now, everywhere. I mean, in Miami, I have good people around me. In Holland, whenever I'm there, that's a little bit the old people, but it's very nice to see them again. I just spent Christmas and New Year's Eve with them, family and friends there.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I just make sure I have the good people around me. And then, I'm going to do fine.
So you're in a training camp now and you're training extremely hard. Like you just mentioned earlier, like, can you walk us through, like, what's a typical training day look like for someone who's going to be fighting in the UFC?
Well, I train like 2 times a day, sometimes 3 times a day, Monday to Friday. Weekends I like to have off. Saturday I'm kind of like dead, just lying around. And then Sunday I will go do something fun. Maybe bowling or maybe to the movies or something a little bit more active. Then basically...
Yeah, when you are training, like, what's that day look like? Like, when you're actually, this is a day where you're going to wake up early.
Yeah, you wake up in the morning, you wake up like 8, breakfast, training at 10, so you leave at like 9:30, be on time, and then you train from let's say 10 till 11, 11:30, because I always do some extra, and then 11:30 after that you eat, get food. I actually eat straight after workout. I always have something prepared, so I take that, and then and then you have a big meal after that, then a nap, afternoon nap, very important, very lovely too. And then you wake up, you eat again, you go again to the gym, another hour, hour and a half. After that, you eat immediately again. Then you go to another restaurant or something, and then final dinner, and then you go home, and then maybe something before bed. So that's like a typical day. And maybe watch a movie, play Xbox or something relax on the side, but no active activity.
So someone at the top, someone who's at a very high level in fighting, how do you push the boundaries? Like, how do you improve when you've been doing this so long? It's like, how are you still, improving your skill?
Well, you need to have people around you that stimulate you to do that. So good coaches, good sparring partners, people that come up with new techniques. You need to have a good chemistry in your group with the people that you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we'll kind of just go right into the knowledge round here. So I'll just ask you some rapid fire questions here. So, Alistair, are you ready for the knowledge round?
I'm totally ready. Let's do it.
Welcome to the knowledge round, where the guests will be asked rapid fire questions to give the audience invaluable pieces of wisdom to help transform their lives. Starting in 3, 2, 1, showtime. All right. Now, it seems clear to me that like you found something, didn't like it so much at first, and then you really started diving into it and improving and really found your thing at somewhat of an early age. So what advice would you give to someone who has not found their thing and they're still kind of lost and looking for that purpose?
It's hard. It's hard. If you have not found your calling yet, it's hard. That is the only thing that you have basically in life, to figure stuff out for yourself. So you should better get on it and start figuring it out for yourself. What are you good at? Try stuff. Try it out. If you're going to keep doing the same things and expect different results, what was that again? The definition of insanity. So you got to do other stuff. You got to try other stuff. By trying like 100 things, you'll figure it out. You'll figure out where your passion is at. I also think that parents should have an active part in that too with their kids, to steer them a little bit in that direction. Fortunate enough for me, I had my brother take me to the gym. That was at age of 14. That's why I'm good at it now, because I'm doing it for a long time. That could have even have happened at an earlier age if let's say my parents were active with me to see what I'm good at. And I mean, it's not a mystery, because I'm an athletic guy. I like to run around and climb. So obviously, sports is something that is, all written all over me.
Yeah, I think that's so important, is to find your thing and then fully commit to that and be in it for the long game. Be in it for 10, 15 years, 20 years, not trying to expect some sort of result within the first year or so.
Yep, agreed.
And what was... this knowledge for men, so I ask every guy, like, what was holding you back from becoming the man you are now today, if anything?
No, you just have your life experience. You just need to go through stuff, and then you grow, and then it makes you the person you are today. It's not something one thing is holding me back. If you mean some people have themselves holding themselves back.
Right. That's very common.
Yeah, because they like to party a lot or something, or smoke cigarettes, then they are holding themselves back. But for me, I'm very much like to do stuff optimally, give 100% and not slack.
Yeah. And in your experience of being in the fighting industry for almost over 2 decades, why do you think some fighters succeed and some others don't succeed?
Well, you need to be persistent too. You need to keep going, even through adversity, even if things don't go your way. And you also need a little bit of luck on your side, because sometimes, let's say some fighters, for example, this is just an example, a really good fighter is fighting a really other good fighter. fighter A loses to the fighter B, and fighter A is like discouraged by the result and the experience, and kind of gets discouraged to continue his fighting career, even though he's a talent, even though he's a good fighter, but stuff happens. There needs to be one winner, and fighter B is equally talented. It could mean that fighter A will discontinue his fighting career, and he will do other stuff. He'll go back to school and become a banker or something.
Right.
So you need to have a little bit of luck on your side. You need to be persistent, keep going. Even though you lose, you need to get back on the horse and fight again. You need to, in my opinion, you need to do at least like 4 or 5 fights to decide if it's not for you or if it is for you. And if after the 5 fights, then you make a decision. After one fight, you shouldn't make a decision. But I know some fighters who are talented, who after one fight decided, nah, fuck it, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then, they went on to do different stuff. And then years later, they regret it.
Yeah, so true. Now, I have a scenario for you here. Imagine you had 60 seconds with your 20-year-old self. What would you tell him to do, and what would you tell him not to do?
60 seconds. It's a good question. I would tell him, get a lawyer.
Why?
Get a good lawyer. Yeah, because
for fighting, for the fight industry.
Yeah, just for everything.
Yeah.
It'll save you some. It'll save you a couple extra bucks.
Anything else that you would tell him if you could talk to your 20-year-old self and you had 60 seconds with them and you could tell him anything?
I would tell him, just keep going to the gym, just keep training, keep working hard, and you'll be fine.
So just stay with it, like stay the course.
Yeah, keep going to the gym, keep working hard, keep training hard, you'll be fine.
Cool. All right, and now we'll just conclude with the knowledge around here. But do you have any last parting piece of guidance for the thousands of listeners?
Everybody's journey is different. I try to be positive. For me, it always worked. But you also need to search for your own fuel to keep yourself going. For me, the positive thing works, but maybe for somebody else it's different. Maybe for somebody else it's love, or it's money, or religion. So figure it out yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, so that concludes the knowledge on there. So I just want to go briefly into what's exciting you today. I know you got an upcoming fight coming up, but like anything else going on, or is it 100% training for this fight?
100% training for this fight.
What's next for you after the fight?
After the fight, I got a seminar tour in Australia, which is going to be set up, and then
like a gym in Australia.
Yeah, seminar tour, some appearances, and then Southeast Asia too. Gonna do a tour there, several countries, and then another tour after probably the summer in Europe, big tour. And we're gonna see where we fit the fights in and how we're gonna do that.
All right, seems good there. All right, and so you guys can follow up, all the listeners, with Alistair Overeem at his website, AlistairOvereem.com. You can just Google his name. It shows right up as number 1. Alistair, thank you so much for giving me your time. You just trained, you're tired, you got to eat, you got to take that nap. So I appreciate the work that you're doing and the story that you've shared with us and the lessons you've given us today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Also, don't forget to check out my documentary, which is on my website. Everybody who watches one episode watches them all, and then they're a fan. So if you don't want to become a fan, don't watch it. But it's I'm getting a lot of very positive feedback from all over the world about that documentary. So it's a lot of episodes too. It's like 3 seasons. So check it out and shoot me a Twitter or tweet what you think about it.
All right, we'll do. I'll put a link inside the blog post when I send it out to your team there. But Alistair, thanks again. Have a good day. Appreciate the time.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
All right, take care.
Yo, ciao.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Knowledge for Men podcast. Hundreds of interviews and 1 million downloads later, we're continuing to build an international movement, and we've just started. So if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and leave a review in iTunes. It really helps to grow the podcast. Guys, 2015 is the official year of living with purpose, where every day you do only the things that matter to you. You wake up, live with purpose, and take massive action towards the life you want. Check out kfmfree.com to get free tools I've created to help you crush life. Again, that's kfmfree.com. This is your host, Andrew Farabee, and I'll see you in the next episode.